This trailer didn't just tease Fallout Season 3, it declared war on the entire Wasteland, and quietly warned us that no one is walking out unchanged. Section 1. The moment the Fallout Season 3 trailer begins, something feels wrong. And not in the fun, chaotic way Fallout usually does. This isn't dark humor anymore, this is pressure. The kind that builds slowly, silently, until something snaps. The Wasteland doesn't feel wild or random here. It feels tense, controlled, and dangerously close to collapse. And that alone tells us Season 3 isn't about survival anymore. It's about consequences finally catching up. What makes this trailer hit so hard is that it doesn't act like a fresh chapter. It acts like a verdict. Everything that happened in Season 2, the lies, the mind control, the experiments, the betrayals, none of it stayed buried. The trailer makes it painfully clear that secrets don't stay underground forever. In Fallout, they leak, they spread, and when they do, the entire world reacts. You can feel that shift in every quiet pause, every hardened expression, every moment where characters look less hopeful and more prepared for loss, prepared for war, prepared to make choices they can't undo. Lucy's presence alone tells us how much has changed. This isn't the curious vault dweller anymore, trying to understand the Wasteland with wide eyes and moral certainty. The Lucy we see now looks weighed down, like someone who has learned too much and can't forget it. Her body language feels sharper, her silence heavier. The confrontation with her father didn't give her closure, it stripped something away, and the trailer subtly suggests that pain isn't fading, it's fueling her. Lucy no longer feels like someone reacting to the world, she feels like someone about to challenge it, and that's terrifying because Fallout has never been kind to people who push back against systems of control. There's also something unsettling hinted at beneath the surface of Lucy's story. Small visual cues, careful framing, they suggest that whatever happened to her might not be temporary. If her body is changing, if her humanity is being tested, then Season 3 turns her journey into something far more tragic. She wouldn't just be fighting Vault-Tec or the Wasteland. She'd be fighting time itself. And when Fallout puts a clock on a character, it rarely ends gently. Then there's the Ghoul. And his presence feels heavier than ever. He doesn't feel like a wandering survivor in this trailer. He feels focused, obsessed, like a man who has narrowed his entire existence down to one final purpose. The hope he carried at the end of Season 2 now looks fragile, almost cruel. The idea that Barbara and Janie might still be alive isn't comforting anymore. It's dangerous, because hope in the Wasteland has a habit of turning into obsession, and obsession always demands a price. His path toward Colorado doesn't feel like a journey, it feels like a descent. What ties all of this together is how the trailer treats the world itself. The Wasteland no longer looks scattered or accidental. It looks organized. Factions are moving with intent. Technology is no longer being scavenged. It's being weaponized. Power structures are forming where chaos once ruled. This isn't survival, this is control. And the most chilling part, the trailer suggests Vault-Tec is done hiding. Phase 2 isn't theoretical anymore, it's active, it's public, and it's spreading. Season 3 doesn't ask if the Wasteland is dangerous. It asks, who's pulling the strings now? And what happens when everyone finally realizes they're already trapped? So, when the truth comes out, who do you think the Wasteland will turn on first? If the first half of the Fallout Season 3 trailer is about pressure building, then the second half is about that pressure finally finding direction. This is where the Wasteland stops feeling like a collection of survivors and starts feeling like a chessboard. Every faction shown isn't just reacting anymore. They're moving with intent. And that's what makes this season feel genuinely terrifying. War isn't coming because of one villain, it's coming because too many powerful groups now believe they're right. The New California Republic stands out immediately, not because they look heroic, but because they don't. The trailer presents them as organized, disciplined, and ready, but there's no triumph in their presence, no banners of hope, just structure, control, necessity. This version of the NCR feels like a government that has learned one brutal lesson too well. Mercy doesn't keep borders safe. Their intervention in the Season 2 finale wasn't an act of kindness. It was positioning, and Season 3 looks ready to show us what happens when a government decides Stability matters more than morality. What's unsettling is how reasonable they seem. That's always the danger in Fallout. The most frightening powers aren't the ones that enjoy cruelty, they're the ones that justify it. The trailer hints that the NCR will expand, push outward, and defend what they claim as theirs. But at what cost? Fallout history has never been kind to governments that believe survival excuses everything. And the way the NCR is framed here suggests they're about to start crossing lines they once pretended mattered. At the same time, the Brotherhood of Steel is no longer lurking in the background. They are stepping forward aggressively, and the trailer doesn't try to soften that reality. Quintus doesn't feel like a leader struggling with responsibility. He feels inevitable. The phrase Quintus the Destroyer doesn't sound like propaganda meant to inspire followers, it sounds like a warning. The Brotherhood's belief that technology must be controlled has always been dangerous, but Season 3 seems ready to explore what happens when that belief turns into obsession. Because here's the uncomfortable truth the trailer hints at: if the Brotherhood decides the Wasteland itself is the problem, then everyone becomes an enemy. Civilians, allies, even former brothers. Control doesn't stop once it tastes power, it escalates. And the trailer quietly suggests the Brotherhood may be preparing to enforce order, not just through strength, but through elimination. Fallout doesn't frame that as villainy, it frames it as logic. And that's what makes it horrifying. Then there's the Enclave, and unlike the other factions, they barely need to appear to dominate the trailer's tension. Their threat isn't loud, it's surgical. While others march armies across the Wasteland, the Enclave plans in silence. The trailer strongly implies they're preparing something far worse than open warfare, a single move, a single decision that could erase entire populations without warning. History tells us the Enclave doesn't believe in second chances. When they act, it's final. What makes their return so chilling is the suggestion that their influence never really disappeared. It went underground, and now, with Phase 2 unfolding, the Enclave suddenly feels less like a relic and more like a shadow partner in Vault-Tec's long game. If that's true, then the war on the surface might just be a distraction noise to keep everyone looking the wrong way. The Legion's new leadership adds another layer of brutality to this already unstable world. Lara Leget's rise through deception tells us exactly what kind of ruler he's going to be. This isn't strength earned through loyalty or belief. It's power stolen through fear. The trailer hints that his methods won't just challenge the NCR, they'll destabilize entire regions. This won't be a clean conflict between armies, it'll be massacres, intimidation, and cruelty used as strategy. And just when the chaos feels overwhelming, the trailer brings in Mr. House quietly, deliberately, and without spectacle. His presence alone changes the rules. Mr. House doesn't rush, he doesn't bleed on the battlefield, he waits. While others destroy, he consolidates. His interest in securing Vegas suggests a colder, more calculated war is coming. One fought with resources, influence, and long-term planning. And that makes him more dangerous than any army because you rarely realize you've lost until it's already over. What's most unsettling is how all these forces are moving at once. Not one at a time. Not in isolation. The trailer frames Season 3 as a collision. Governments tightening control, factions escalating violence, shadows pulling strings, and caught in the middle are people who never asked to become symbols, leaders, or sacrifices. This isn't a war with a single front, it's a slow suffocation of choice itself. And if every faction believes they're saving the Wasteland in their own way, what happens when the only thing left to fight over is who gets to decide how everyone else lives? While factions prepare for war and power structures tighten their grip, the Fallout Season 3 trailer quietly reminds us of something far more unsettling. Wars don't just reshape maps, they reshape people. And nowhere is that more clear than in how the trailer positions Lucy and Maximus. These two are no longer learning how the Wasteland works. They already know. What Season 3 is asking now is whether that knowledge will break them or turn them into something dangerous. Lucy's transformation is one of the heaviest emotional threads running through the trailer. She doesn't look lost anymore. She looks tired. Not physically, morally, like someone who has seen behind the curtain and can't pretend the world makes sense again. The Wasteland didn't steal her innocence in one violent moment. It drained it slowly through lies, manipulation, and the realization that authority doesn't mean protection. After learning how easily minds can be controlled, Lucy's fear isn't pointed at raiders or monsters anymore. It's aimed at systems, at people who claim to know what's best for everyone else. That shift changes everything about her role in Season 3. Lucy doesn't feel like a follower anymore, she feels like a disruptor. And Fallout has never treated disruptors kindly. The trailer subtly suggests she's losing trust, not just in Vault-Tec, but in the very idea of organized control. That puts her on a collision course with almost every major power in the Wasteland. When you stop believing in authority, you stop fitting into the world as it exists. And that kind of belief makes you a problem that powerful people want removed. There's also the haunting implication that Lucy's struggle isn't just ideological, it's internal. The brief hints about her physical condition raise uncomfortable questions. If whatever is happening to her body is permanent, then Lucy's story becomes a race against herself. Every risk she takes carries more weight. Every delay matters. And the trailer leans into that tension by showing her making faster, sharper, more dangerous choices. This isn't recklessness, it's urgency. And urgency has a habit of pushing people past their limits. Maximus represents a different kind of evolution, but it's no less dangerous. His defining moment in the Season 2 finale wasn't about defeating a monster. It was about choosing who he is without armor, without orders, without permission. The trailer reinforces that identity shift again and again. Maximus no longer hides behind symbols or ranks, he stands on belief. And belief in Fallout attracts enemies faster than weapons ever could. What makes Maximus so compelling in Season 3 is the tension surrounding his future. The Brotherhood of Steel may want to claim him, elevate him, use him as proof of their strength. But the trailer suggests Maximus isn't interested in being owned by anyone anymore. He believes in protecting people, not ideologies. And that belief puts him in direct opposition to factions that value control over compassion. If Maximus refuses to bend, he doesn't just become a threat, he becomes a symbol, and symbols rarely survive long in violent systems. The trailer hints at a looming choice for him: become part of a machine or stand against it and pay the price. Either path leads to conflict. If he stays loyal to people instead of banners, he risks becoming an enemy to the very institutions that once gave him purpose. And in Fallout, betrayal isn't always punished with death. Sometimes it's punished with erasure. The reunion between Lucy and Maximus carries an unspoken weight that the trailer never spells out, and that's what makes it powerful. Their bond doesn't feel hopeful anymore. It feels fragile. Built on shared loss rather than optimism, they've both been shaped by trauma, but in different ways. Lucy questions systems, Maximus challenges them directly. That difference matters, because Season 3 seems ready to test whether shared pain is enough to keep people aligned when their moral paths begin to split. The trailer subtly sets up situations where Lucy and Maximus may not agree on what the right choice is, and that kind of disagreement is far more dangerous than any external enemy. When survival demands compromise and values demand resistance, something always breaks. Either the world or the people trying to survive it. Together they stand at the center of a conflict that's no longer theoretical. Their actions won't just affect themselves. They'll ripple outward, influencing factions, sparking retaliation, and possibly shifting the balance of power. They aren't reacting to history anymore. They're becoming part of it, and Fallout has always been ruthless with characters who accidentally change the world. But the trailer's most haunting message isn't about war or power. It's about identity. Season 3 isn't asking who Lucy and Maximus will become when every option costs them something they can't get back. And when the world rewards cruelty and punishes hope, how long can two people hold on to their humanity before it turns into another liability? Out of every storyline teased in the Fallout Season 3 trailer, the most emotionally dangerous path belongs to the Ghoul. Not because it's the loudest or the most violent, but because it's built entirely on hope. And Fallout has never been gentle with characters who hope too much. The trailer doesn't frame his journey like an adventure or a heroic quest. It frames it like a slow, grinding test, a test of endurance, memory, and how much pain a person can survive before something inside them finally breaks. His motivation isn't power, it isn't survival, it's family. and that makes him vulnerable in a way no weapon ever could. The postcard hinting that Barbara and Janie might still be alive didn't give him peace, it gave him purpose, and purpose, when fueled by uncertainty, can turn into obsession. The Ghoul doesn't look excited in this trailer, he looks driven, focused to the point of self-destruction. Every step toward Colorado feels heavier, as if the Wasteland itself is daring him to turn back. Colorado, as teased in the trailer, doesn't look like a place that rewards persistence. It looks lawless, hostile, and unforgiving even by Wasteland standards. Mutated creatures, unstable factions, and territories ruled by fear rather than order. The trailer strongly suggests that the Ghoul won't find clear answers there, only fragments, vault after vault, rumors instead of truth, and that kind of search erodes a person, especially someone who has already lived through decades of loss. Each discovery could bring him closer to the truth while pushing peace further out of reach. Unlike Lucy or Maximus, the Ghoul doesn't move through the Wasteland unnoticed. His appearance alone makes him a target. Raiders see him as prey, mercenaries see him as profit, organized factions see him as a problem that needs to be removed. Season 3 quietly hints that his journey won't just be dangerous, it will be hunted. And that changes everything. Because when survival turns into pursuit, mistakes become fatal. Then there's the shadow looming over his entire storyline, the Enclave. The trailer subtly reminds us that they haven't forgotten who the Ghoul is or what he represents. If the Enclave is still experimenting with control, obedience, and advanced technology, then someone with his knowledge and emotional leverage becomes extremely valuable or extremely disposable. Capture in this case might be far worse than death. And the idea that his search for family could lead him directly into an organized trap adds a chilling layer of inevitability to his path. Emotionally, the trailer places the Ghoul at a crossroads. If he finds Barbara and Janie alive, his suffering gains meaning, his endurance becomes justified. But if he doesn't, if the truth waiting for him is loss instead of reunion, then everything he's held together for decades could collapse. Rage. Emptiness. Or something far worse. Fallout has always been interested in what people become when hope fails them, and Season 3 seems ready to push that question to its limit. The trailer also hints that the Ghoul's path may intersect with Lucy's again, and that possibility carries enormous weight. Lucy already owes him her life. If she chooses to help him, it could drag her directly into the horrors waiting in Colorado. That decision wouldn't just reshape his journey, it would reshape hers. Helping him might mean abandoning her own fight, or it might reveal that their battles are more connected than either of them realizes. While all of this unfolds on the surface, the trailer delivers its most chilling revelation underground. Phase 2 isn't just a concept anymore, it's active. Vault-Tec's long experiment is entering its most brutal stage. The vaults were never meant to save humanity, they were meant to study it, control it, break it, and Season 3 looks ready to expose what happens when that control becomes absolute. Steph's transformation is one of the most disturbing elements teased in the trailer. She no longer looks uncertain or conflicted, she looks empowered, protected. When Vault-Tec steps in directly, morality disappears. Her leadership isn't about safety, it's about obedience. Scarcity becomes a weapon, supplies are restricted, punishment becomes public, and in an enclosed system like a vault, that kind of pressure doesn't just create fear, it creates monsters. Resistance, as hinted through Chad's storyline, won't be silenced quietly. It will be used as an example. Fallout has always understood how power maintains control, and Season 3 seems prepared to push that brutality even further. Psychological damage before physical violence, fear before force, entire populations shaped by deprivation and obedience. Vault-Tec doesn't need armies, it needs compliance. Norm's survival ties directly into this endgame. His role no longer feels accidental. With Claudia alive and the truth about the vaults emerging, Norm represents something Vault-Tec can't predict: human unpredictability. Healing Claudia and finding Lucy aren't just personal goals anymore. They could place him directly in the path of Vault-Tec's control systems. And people like Norm are dangerous because they don't seek power. They seek truth. Season 3 doesn't promise hope, it promises consequences. War on the surface, dictatorship underground, characters forced to choose between survival and humanity. And the trailer makes one thing painfully clear: When every lie finally comes to light, the Wasteland won't ask who's innocent, it will ask who's left to pay the price.